Alrighty guys, JW here, and I will be casting another Storple versus Blodian. They both have computer partners, both on very hard. This was set to Terran, this one was set to random. Storple is in fact a random player, and I believe Blodian is a heavy zerg player. And so Blodian will be spawning on the far left as red zerg. His computer partner, player 3, will be spawning at the bottom as pink zerg. Storple will be spawning on the far right as Purple Zerg, and the top will be Blue Terran. They are set to very hard instead of insane or hard or anything below that, and so this is going to be actually pretty exciting to watch today. Oh, by the way, Storple and Blodian are both silver ranking players, so I mean, they're better than the bronze players, but they're not as good as the diamond players on the league, so don't judge them too harshly when you guys comment or anything. So we are seeing a 10 pool from Blodian. I think he might be going for the exact same Zergling build that we saw before in the previous game I casted. And so the spawning pool for pink is going up, as well as the spawning pool for Storple. Storple will also be getting a extractor here, and so Blodian will, I believe he's already scouted. He has scouted. Oh, so these two are actually allies, and he has just scouted out Comp 3. So my apologies. I believe that these two, the blue and the purple, were allies, but it seems I got them mixed up. It seems that Storple and Player 3 are allies. And so, with production underway, the gas is up. It is being mined. 3 queens are on the way, as well as a Roachwarren for the computer player here. Pretty interesting to actually see this. But a Roachwarren is also up for coming up for Storple. We are seeing the computer scouting around here, and we are seeing this early, well, not very early, but a pretty early attack on Blodian's part. And so blue, I'm sorry, not blue. Player 4 will be, I guess he is blue, but I don't like calling people by their colors anymore. I try to get their names right. But he will be massing up his forces here. It looks like a mainly bio unit here. And we are going to see an attack. And Player 3 is actually doing a really good job having his drones tank. He did lose out on a few drones, though. He did lose out on a few drones, but his queen just totally destroyed all of those zerglings that came in. And so these zerglings will be forced to back away here. And this one zergling is like, hey, I'm not going there. You guys can chase. You guys have the same speed. I don't really care. And so, personally, I find a 2v2 a little harder to cast than a 1v1, just because there's so much more action going around than in a 1v1. So Marines are being pumped out of these tech labs. Reapers, and yeah. So Metabolic Boost is coming up for the Zerglings for Blodian. I don't believe any upgrades are done for Storple. No, he doesn't have any upgrades. He does have a few roaches out already. And these roaches are just going to devastate the Reapers because roaches take less damage because they are not considered light units. Light units actually take more damage from Reapers. They take 9. And so this Overlord here is just going to take advantage of this high ground, scoping out so he can't be shot down. This one Zergling is just still here. And a massive Zergling force right here. Zergling speed is underway. He does have an evolution chamber. A lair is actually on the way for Storple here. He is not opting to get an expansion, but instead he is just going for a 1 base roach build here. And so he is going to try to take out the Blue Terran. Blue Terran is micro. I love to see these micro. Look at that. 1,388 actions per minute. In case you guys didn't know what APM stood for. So these roaches are actually in a pretty good spot. The only one that can be attacked. I love watching this APM here. It is actually 300. These computers are totally outrageous. They have extremely high APM, but they're not really the best players in the world. So it's always just cool. And Blodian actually did manage to protect his partner. He has 10 more Zerglings on the way. I believe that's... Oh, it is actually 10. It is 5 eggs. So he has 10 Zerglings. A Spire on the way for Storple here. While Pink here just opting to get his first lair. No expansion yet. Actually, no expansion for any player at this point. But, you know, you're going to do what you're going to do. I mean, sometimes it's just better to go for build up a straight army than to risk actually getting an expansion, because having that expansion puts you 304 minerals behind, and that could be actually pretty costly. But I think some of these players actually can afford to build an expansion just with the amount of resources they have piled up. So Blue actually could go for that, but I guess he decides not to. He only has 2 barracks, so it's not as, like a regular... Oh, he does have 3 barracks. My apologies there. So that is like a typical 3 barrack build. So he's probably going to go Marine Marauder. And look at this huge Zergling force here. This computer just needs to like block his ramp right here so he does not get totally surrounded and dominated. But these Zerglings look like they are going to do a huge amount of damage. Upgrades are coming up. He should have waited just a little bit longer for this before making an attack. It's not like he was going to build anything. He does have Hydras on the way. So Hydras are going to be doing massive damage to these Zerglings. They just do 12 base damage, and so these Roaches are on the way. It's like, I'm going to protect you! But they are kind of outnumbered. They probably would get owned just fighting these Zerglings, so... Player 3 microwing his drones very well here. Reapers are running away. The Terran. You sissy Terrans. I mean, sissy Reapers, not Terran. They are Terran, but that's a little broad. Because some Terrans are really brave. Because if you watch some of the replays by the more experienced commentators, like Husky and HD, they will note that there are some hero units out there, like some crazy Marines and stuff like that. And so, Mass Zerglings aren't going to do that well against Mutalisks, but I guess he's just still trying to stick with this Mass Zergling plan that he said that he got the build idea from Hydra versus TLO. I'm not so sure who won for that match, but he is finally getting a... Blodian is finally getting a lair. Spire is finished. No upgrades on the way here. Let's check out the production tab. He is trying to get as many upgrades as possible from this one